Yeah.
Okay? And that's with 83 kids. All right? It's 6 minutes down. What the freaking?
Oh, Jesus, that's a big surprise.
That's a big downgrade from Eric Vogel on Pete Tewksbury.
Oh, no, Jesus.
Never mind. Just upgraded. We're good. What's up, buddy?
How y'all doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
When did I? Hey, tell about when I called you, bro. What did I call you about?
Oh, you and what I haven't told you, Richie. Wojo actually beat you to the punch.
Screw you, Wojo.
He had called me like I was actually on the phone with Wojo still, and he's like, "Oh my God, you won't believe what happened."
All right, where's the remove button? Can you remove Wojo from this meeting? Dirty crap! No, not Ernie!
What's up, everybody? I'm Richie B from Banter with Richie B.
Hey, this is Ernie Pack. We're Pac-Man Paranormal.
Hi, I'm Eric Vanderlaan from War Party Paranormal.
I'm Jay Lynch from Dark Realm TV.
Hey, this is Joe Kudo from Dark Realm TV.
What's up, strangers? I'm Scary Gary.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? The Squatch Man here.
Hi, this is the Wojo.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason Schneider from LEP Productions and the Dark Realm TV Network.
Hey guys, my name is Sarah Sophia from KUWS.
You're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
Yeah, don't forget to tune in to the Animals Podcast. You won't be disappointed.
You are now watching the Animal Podcast Show, so stay tuned.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show.
And you're watching the Animal Podcast Show. So there.
Watching the Animal Podcast.
And you're watching the Animal Paranormal Podcast. Let's go.
Boom.
And you're watching the Animal Expedition Files next.
Hey, this is the Animal, and you're watching Animals Expedition Files.
Wake up with your favorite station. Online, digital, and on your smartphone.
It's time for your favorite host.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Animal on the Animal Expedition Files. Sorry, I'm having a little problem there with my buttons, but yeah, anyways, thank you so much for joining me on the Animal Expedition Files. Wow, that's a tongue twister right there. Brand new name, brand new logo. I don't know if you've seen the logo I've been sharing out there, but yeah, we got a lot of cool things going on today. We got an amazing guest out there. Josh Purvis in the back room right now. We're going to be talking, having a little fun, and a great friend of mine on the search is also on Beacon TV, so you want to follow them and don't miss on their amazing stuff that they're doing out there. A lot of good stuff. But how you guys doing? Hey Jenny, hey Marcy, hey everybody out there watching my show. But hey Crystal, yeah, it's good finally catching you. Thank you. Sorry, thank you for catching my show live. But yeah, sorry. Like I said, I just went to the gym today and my legs are kind of killing me right now. So it was leg day, so kind of out of it. So yeah, exhausted, but we're gonna have a good show anyways today. I don't know if you guys have been watching this news about the drones. I've been following it like crazy every day, but now they're thinking that this drone issue that's going on right now is they're finding it's a nuclear missile or whatever, waste or whatever it's called. That's why these drones are supposedly flying around, but I don't know. You guys decide what it is, because it's crazy to me. But we're gonna be bringing on Josh here right now, and we're gonna have a little fun. So let's bring him on. Hey, brother, what's up?
What's up, man?
Good, man. Just having a great time, man. I just came from the gym, working out, pumping muscle, man. And
shoot, I need to.
I know. Dude, it's so hard. Like at our age, man. I just turned 40 like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like the more I work out, the harder it gets.
Oh, brother, yeah.
I just feel like I just want to pass. I like did leg day today, and I pushed myself way over than I should have of my age, and trying to catch up with these younglings or whatever you call them.
Yeah, but, man. I think the reality is they're gonna outrun us, right? I mean,
well, I'm trying to outrun them, but that'll never happen. Yeah, I'll probably, like just pass out halfway when I try to race. But yeah,
that's right.
No, thank you so much for coming on my show, man.
Yeah, dude, of course.
I know our schedules have been crazy, and how have you been, man? I know you've been going through a lot of stuff lately. Beacon TV,
dude.
congratulations.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we love doing Beacon TV. It's a test for us every day. I'll tell you that. It's a learning experience for us every day as well. You once you start really getting into it and you're really wanting to do like all these little ins and outs, and nobody will ever understand the technical things that have to be done in the background for that kind of stuff to work. It's unreal, dude. And it's kind of been trial by fire for us. We're good at creating, and like to create and like to film and stuff, but then like all the technical side of that is, it can be tough.
The editing part gets me. I love editing. Editing's my favorite, but when you're adding all these freaking effects that are out there, and then you want to get it right, and then when you're like finished with the product and you look at it and you're like, damn, I should have went back on that. Now I got to rework it.
Yeah, I mean, editing is like, I have a love-hate relationship with it, because like, over the years I've come to be pretty decent at it, but then at the same time it's like, man, somebody recently started dipping their feet in the water of that, and we're like, man, I spent 4 hours but I only got like 2 to 3 minutes done, and I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's about how that goes. So yeah, man, it's but the finished products are always really good, right?
I love when I'm like editing all the time, because sometimes I'll take my iPad and I'll like just go in the living room and my kid will be like, I need juice, and I'm like in the middle of like a great idea, and then, like you go get that juice and like you're like, damn it, what was I just thinking of? But no, I mean, we all get that. It's sometimes it's a like you said, a love-hate relationship, and sometimes you just want to throw your computer across the room sometimes when things don't want to work with you, because technology sucks.
I mean, the biggest part about like Beacon TV is like editing, I understand, filming, I understand, all of that kind of stuff I get, but then like there's all these technical pieces about like branching out a streaming platform that like I'm having to learn, and there's always one thing I've learned is there's a meeting about everything. Like I have to be in a meeting about everything.
Especially creating and writing.
Yeah, man. And especially now when you have to have like, right now we're, Shane and I run like the creative control over what's going into Beacon TV and what isn't, even when we're not the ones producing it, right? We're kind of the bottleneck there that says, yeah, we think that this will be a good fit for us, or, no, we don't think this will be a good fit for us. But because of that, we end up having to take part in like tons of different like creative meetings too for tons of different projects, right? And especially leading into 2025 as we get ramped up for a couple of our own productions, it's like 2025 is probably going to test us a lot as far as how much can we really carry and do at one time and juggle at one time. So it's going to get interesting for sure, but we'll get it done.
Oh yeah, it'll be cool though. I think 2025 is gonna be a great year. I'm hoping. I hope,
yeah, for sure.
I hope no more crap going on, man. I can't take none of this crap anymore.
makes it even worse, right? It's so hard to just juggle everything, and like, especially when you get like busy to a point where you're like, man, like all this like little superficial stuff, it doesn't matter. It's a complete waste of time. Like, can we just get on to doing things, right?
Yeah, I'm fun, man. That's what it was funny. I was that intro that I played this morning.
Yeah.
But we just filmed that, and it was funny. I was doing some drone work, and I was showing my daughter how to work the drone because she's my person and does an amazing job me out. But we were flying the drone, and we were joking. And this guy was riding his bike right past us, and we're like talking around. No, we're like, trust me, it's not a government drone. And he's like, oh, don't worry. I believe in conspiracy theories. And we were just joking around and stuff like that. And right when we said that, a freaking drone flew right above us. Right when we were saying that, like, what are the, like, oh, wow. Like, what if someone like was actually hearing that shit? I was like,
you know what I'd like to see, dude? I'd like to see how much like revenue has been done by people going out and buying drones since all of this has taken place,
dude. It's crazy, man, because I love flying drones. I love my like filming with it, like even nature. I like filming nature and stuff like that in the woods. And just now, like the FAA is like going bonkers right now because of everybody buying drones. Like Best Buy is running out of drones. Like is one of the big markets out there you can buy a drone from. DJI is going crazy. The sales are going off the roof because of all this crap that's going on, and
dude.
And now it's funny. Now you'll see a drone, and everybody's flying a drone. They're like, "Is that a UFO? Is that a UFO?" Like people, are
and
like,
it's just everybody flying each other's drones, trying to see other drones.
It's like these drones crashing everywhere now because these new flyers that don't know how to fly.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Like,
and they're like, "That's a UFO. I swear it was a UFO." But I blinking
That's I get asked all the time what my thoughts are on it. I was like, ultimately, I truly believe it's 90% mass hysteria where people are, like your next door neighbor is going out and buying a drone and putting it in the air because he thinks he's gonna see a drone with it, and and so like everybody's flying drones everywhere.
It's like you remember that I don't know if you remember this, but I used to watch it when I was a kid, Robot Wars.
Oh yeah, dude. I used to love that show, man.
Could you imagine Drone Wars if they had
dude.
That up in the air, dude, and things exploding in the air?
Hey, that's a show concept right there, man.
Dude, we should work together on that.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. An Animal and Josh Purvis.
There you go, dude.
We'll do Drone Wars and put it out there and see where.
I want to see what somebody builds with that. They can freaking put blades all over it, and oh my god, it'd be amazing.
A drone like falls because it's too damn.
Flamethrower on it, bro.
Oh man, that a Godzilla drone or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude.
But no, it's pretty crazy with this whole drone craze going on. But I want to show this video real quick because there's been these issues where people have been actually driving where these drones are and big interference on their radios. But I shared this last time. I don't know if anybody remembers, but check this video out.
What the fuck?
You know the funny part, every time I listen to that, it feels like when I had Taco Bell, in the bathroom. No, that's what it sounds like after somebody had Taco Bell that night. Maybe it was an
Right.
alien in Taco Bell and it was just like interfering with the radio or something. But that's pretty crazy. That stuff is, and that's like not the only video. I've been seeing multiple videos of that stuff. So there's,
I mean, who knows, man? I mean, it could also be some government thing going on our side that they're testing. It's just really, I don't know, but that we've taken it and run with it. I know that.
Oh, I know Joe Rogan had this one guy on his show talking about how there's a nuclear war missile missing. Now, how the hell does somebody lose a nuclear war missile? Like, seriously.
I don't know. And to be honest, like, did they? That's the other thing is like, I'm not sure. Yeah. Like it almost sounds like it'd be nearly impossible. I'm quite sure that our government capability or military capability at least they're probably keeping monitoring that kind of stuff far more than we could ever realize. Like, people are like, oh, China's spying on us and all of that stuff. And man, they've been doing that for forever. And we do the same thing to them. And you know what I mean? It's the news finds out and then they blow it up for us. So,
well, it's just like that whole thing with the space landing, like
right.
Fake. A lot of people think it's real, because if you think about it, back in the day, did we really have the technology to be able to go to the moon? You know what I mean? And
right. So I do find a couple of things interesting about that. And, people can make their own opinions based on it, but we would have had a lot of reasoning to want to even just fake that. Right.
Oh yeah.
It was during the height of the Cold War and we were just wanting to win. The other side of that I really find interesting today is that NASA has even said that they don't have the technology that they used back then to be able to do it again. That's why they haven't gone back. It's like, really? I mean, that's the stance we're taking.
Well, the weird part is my wife just told me this. Do you remember that one explosion that happened when there was that teacher that was on board? You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, apparently now there's a thing that apparently there's people out there with the same name and look alike that it was all tricked and planned, that they never died and never exploded. So now there's a theory out there that these people with the same name and look alike could be them older, but it's coming out now and like in the light now because of all the stuff that's going on. It's just crazy how all this stuff is happening.
I do believe that there's probably situations out there where people like go off grid, I guess, and get their deaths faked and stuff like that. And I mean, if you have a certain amount of money when you know the right people, I'm quite sure you can make something happen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's and then next is Elvis is alive. So
yeah, it's funny you said that because I just saw a TikTok about Elvis being alive randomly.
Yeah, there's this guy called Rob Joy. He owns a church
him.
like that, and they said all his I was watching an article about that too because I kind of wanted to do about conspiracy theories about people and all that stuff. And that's one of them that kind of intrigued me because it's been going like wildfire that, he's been like at his daughter's funeral.
Right.
His daughter actually, I guess it was in 2000, I think it was in 97, where one of his daughters on Oprah announced by accident that Elvis was alive. There's like a whole video of it. I was like, what the hell? And then like, it's just like, and then you see this guy named Bob Joy that looks like him, sings like him, talks like him, and it's like, what the hell?
I think he's like embraced that now too, right? He's come out himself and been like that he was Elvis. So who knows?
I don't know.
People are wild, bro. That's what I know.
World, dude. It's
it is crazy, man.
Us, drones are flying. Bigfoot is controlling the drones, and then you got. And then you got ghosts that are taking people's animals and all that stuff.
Dude.
Who knows, man?
Who knows, man? We have a wild world we live in.
Next will be Drone Wars. That'll be the next wild thing. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna walk through with it.
Yes, we
gonna
need
be
it, man.
huge.
It's what the people need.
Yep, that's what it'll be a remake of Robot Wars, but
There you
better.
go.
Anyway, and I know we're having a lot of fun. That's what I love about this show, man. It's we could just shoot the shit and just have fun.
Yeah,
and
dude, for sure.
And you know, I try not to have anything like planned for like asking
Yeah.
questions. But the one thing I do want to ask, I know we are having a little fun, but I do want to talk about a little bit about you and how you got started and your
Yeah,
team.
dude, of course.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
So a couple of different avenues there. Well, I guess we'll talk about, the paranormal first.
Yeah.
Largely growing up, I've been kind of, on the adventure side of things. Used to ride, motocross, did skateboarding for quite a while. I've beat myself up beyond repair. I was the singer for a metal band for a long time. Did that before I was married. I did that pretty much full time. That was my thing, right? And then when I realized, which my wife today, Mandy, when I realized I was going to marry her, I kind of started setting myself up to kind of take a step away from that, because I knew that I couldn't be on the road all the time doing that. But to say that, like, I liked to kind of just, if I always view things as opportunities potentially, and sometimes, man, you just kind of gotta go out there and pull the trigger on things. And so, yeah, I've done that a lot. I've done whitewater kayaking. I got super into that for a long time. I eventually walked away from that because I knew I would it would eventually lead to my death, because I was doing like waterfalls and stuff like that. And it just got to a point where I was like, I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And then, so it makes sense that I would eventually find myself into the paranormal. I wish I had this, like, cool origin story about how when I was 5, I witnessed somebody in my room or something of that, some weird thing. I don't, man. Sorry to let everybody down. I don't have one of those. What I do have is actually in my adult age, had my first paranormal encounter at the Sorrel Weed House in Savannah, Georgia. And it was by happenstance that I even had it. We were just there, me and my wife today. We're taking a tour there, and we're just taking pictures with our cell phones. And upon leaving Savannah, I was getting gas, and my wife's going through the photos, and she said, "Hey, take a look at this. It looks kind of weird." And I got to looking at it, and back then I was into, like, filmmaking and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to throw this into Photoshop and kind of like change the coloring on it to see if I can bring this out. And
yeah,
when I did that, you could see a pretty clear outline of a woman in a colonial dress, like looking out a window.
Oh.
And the photo is taken where I'm in the room with her, right? And she's looking out one of the windows that's in that room.
Yeah.
And so, already being kind of a fan of ghost hunters, and at the time ghost adventures too, right? Because it was all pretty new. I was like, I was all in, right? Fast forward, I worked, doing paranormal investigating for different event companies for a while. Then I came to design our first, like, paranormal walking tour. Me and my wife designed here locally in Macon. And somewhere it gets a little blurry. Somewhere in there is when the idea of searchers actually started. And that idea started with Shane Pittman and I, and it is still with Shane Pittman and I today. It took kind of sat in the background for a while, and I really started getting into filmmaking a lot more. I wasn't doing paranormal stuff at the time for filmmaking, but I was out there doing commercials, interviews, stuff that would pay the bills, right? But then out of the blue, he messaged me and he said, "Hey, you want to," me and him always kept in touch. And I remember when he was going out for the Holzer Files, and then he messaged me about doing an event out in Louisiana, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to ride out there?" Because he knew that I had a lot of experience in like leading groups and stuff through these kind of paranormal investigation things. And so I was like, "Yeah, man, we'll do that." And so we did this road trip, if you will, all the way out to Louisiana, and we had such a good time. This was at the Gothic Canyon Jail. So for anybody out there that's in the chat that is always wondering why we may have such a soft spot for Louisiana, this is why.
That's awesome.
So that was like the first day, really. So the day after that event, he was flying out to film the second season of Holzer Files. He was literally leaving that event to go to the first location.
Wow.
But we had such a good time, and it was so well received that we were like, man, we really need to pick Searchers back up. And I was like, well, if we're gonna do it, we need to actually do it this time. We can't put other things in front of it necessarily. We have to do it. And so we did, and we didn't stop, and we've enjoyed every bit of it. Being able to meet people, being able to go to some of the locations that we've gotten to go to, man, it's just freaking unreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where I got into the paranormal. The filmmaking aspect of it, I don't know if there was one particular thing that got me that interested in it. To be honest, I've always had this appreciation for how people told stories visibly, and I think I just dipped my feet in it through like filming, maybe, whitewater kayaking. We used to film a hefty amount of that. Sold some of that actually to Travel Channel for some of their shows on When Vacations Attack, actually. For some of their like recre stuff. And that's not why we did it. We just did it to we had GoPros and shit, and we were like, let's have fun with it,
Yeah.
But I kind of took it a step further, and I had from friends that I call them my mentors. They may not, feel that way, other than friends trying to help me, kind of live in that world. They helped me get through the rough spots of learning, because I am all self-taught in what I do. And there's a lot of times when you're starting out, especially even just trying to get work, I spent like the first year of doing it professionally. I was just doing it to build a resume. Anything I could get, I was doing.
Yeah.
I did, when COVID hit, I kind of took I set it on the background, because at that time, me and my wife were filming tons and tons of weddings. It was like a wedding every weekend, it felt like. And you can get really burned out on that stuff and kind of lose creative appreciation for stuff like that. So I ultimately like just kind of sat on that, if you will. But we were also doing Searchers at the time. And I turned the switch back on for whatever reason. But then when I told myself I did that, I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let myself get wrapped up into like the corporate world of this, because I do want to focus my time on documentary filmmaking. And that's essentially what I did. And I did it a lot for little to no money, basically, but it was, at the time, I felt like, because for me as a paranormal investigator, one of my things is that I love being able to tell a story in a way that like a viewer can watch it and kind of get the same emotions that I got when I experienced it. Right.
Yeah.
And that it's harder than people think to do that, and to edit it in a way to where, one, you're not fabricating any kind of shot or anything of that nature. And then, but two, you also have to have these different like elements to the video that really give an impactful representation of all that stuff. So it is a song and dance. And I know, that. But
yep.
I would say that's probably where I got into it. And I've kind of stayed true to continue down the documentary filmmaking stuff. We did that, and we worked with Travel Channel and producers that worked with Travel Channel on creating different show concepts and stuff like that. And none of which ever sold, but that was, largely not due to us, due to the environment. As everybody knows now, those networks aren't really picking up paranormal content anymore, and who knows how long they'll even be around, to be honest. But that all of that knowledge base is really what led us to do Beacon TV, because one of the things that we constantly saw, while doing events and stuff, is from Shane's perspective, it was like, well, why did they cancel the Holzer files? And the short answer is that, like, we don't know and can't answer it, right? We can't answer that. Because you're a piece of that, very small piece of that pie. And so eventually we were like, it's sad that so many people ask for that, but then we can't really give them a good answer as to why it's not there anymore. And knowing what we knew about productions, we said, hey, we're gonna take a wag at it. And that's where Beacon TV came to play. We sat on it for a while because we didn't know. We knew we wanted to do it. We just didn't know, like, how to make that come to fruition on a technical side of things. And stars aligned, if you will. I was at an event at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. It was about September of last year. It's where we met our third owner, Michael Cook. I met him there, and immediately he specializes in, like, live streaming. He lives out in Alaska, and he does a lot of, like, hockey games there and fights and music concerts and stuff like that. He'll live stream them all. He gets to talking about all that stuff, and, like, we're just talking shop because he brought all his gear to kind of, like, live stream the investigation there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is really great. Like, so I'm immediately gravitated towards the equipment and talking shop, and he gets to talking about how he really would love to do a streaming platform. And I was like, really? And he got talking about the ins and outs. He was like, yeah, I can code websites and I've done app development and stuff like that. And I run a Amazon web server and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, shoot. I was like, I'm heading back home. I call Shane. I'm like, hey, we probably need to have a meeting with this guy. Like, I know we've always talked about doing this. This might be how we make that happen, fast forward, here we are. We launched in the end of January, or the end of July, at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. It was well received. Overwhelming. It had actually crashed the website at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was it was chaos like the first 2 weeks, because we were, man, constant trying to fix IT stuff. And today we see a much better and stable form of Beacon TV as far as all of that is concerned. And we are happy for it, and our mental health thanks us. Dude, we were pulling our hair out starting out, and
oh man.
But and it's because, dude, honestly, like, at the end of the day, we're just people that have a passion to want to give, we want to be able to answer that question as to why things get canceled, and primarily we want to be able to give that statement back to the viewers, right? Like, I feel like it gets lost so much out there that, like, the only reason creatively we could do any of this kind of stuff as far as filming is because of the viewers, right? And we want to be able to do things that, how many of us go to work and we have a shitty day, you know what I mean? Like, but you could turn on something, maybe we got a new episode on Beacon TV that will make you laugh or make you have a good time, or, you know what I mean? And so it can really, you can really change somebody's day by a simple 10-second piece of a clip. You just never know. And, we had a episode of one of our original series, Pair with a Normal, that recently came out, and I hardly, because I stay so busy. They're great.
They're awesome.
Which, is completely original concept. They brought it to us, and we said, hey, we think we could probably do something with this. We had an immediate, like, visual reality of this world where The Office meets paranormal investigating, basically. And so, I finally got the chance to really turn on the TV, open up the Beacon TV app, and I wanted to watch this episode. And this episode is short. It was like 10, 11 minutes long. It's unusual that they're that short, but this one is short, but it was so funny, dude. I ended up watching it twice, and I'm just like, man, this is such a good episode. And if you watch that episode, it's the new one about Bigfoot, and it's like new boot Bigfooting or something. Man, it is just it's a good time, right? And so I appreciated it. I laughed a lot. Wow. And I was like, man, it just things just tend to resonate sometimes when you have a second to sit down and enjoy them for what they are. So
that's awesome. It's funny you said big boot. I always had an idea for people with big feet like me to start a Sasquatch shoe store.
Yes, dude.
The idea it'd be themed like with the woods inside, and it'd be
right
there. And you have one of these shoe fitters. It's a big Sasquatch foot to see if it fits. If it fits, we have the shoe for you. So it would be cool. That would be funny because there's a lot of people with big feet out there, and you can go to the store and they don't have your size.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's it gets frustrating because I got a size 14, 15 shoe.
Holy smokes, dude.
I'll go to dude, no joke. I'll go to these places. I'll be like, do you have a 14, 15 wide? They'll be like,
all right, I'm gonna need you out there barefooted. I need a Bigfoot track. Pronto.
I have a Bigfoot costume. No joke. I do.
That's awesome.
I'll come out there and just start putting footprints wherever you need.
Dude. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need
a comedy
Squatch
series.
Souls. I like that.
Oh damn, yeah. It's funny that you say that. The whole network thing, because I'm a musician too.
Right. Yeah.
For a long time, and I toured around and was in bands and stuff like that. It's funny because you want to be noticed and stuff like that out there in the world, and you try to work your hardest and try to get noticed by these companies like Discovery Plus and all that stuff. And it's I don't know. It's these shows that I watched today. It's I see more talent that there is now on streaming services than there is on no offense, I love Discovery Plus, but I'm it's
no, I mean,
much talent out there. So many people that work their rear ends off that I believe that deserve a shot.
Oh, absolutely, dude. That's exactly it, right? Is and we see that too, and it's one of those things of do we have people that come from previous TV talent? Absolutely, but we're also going to have a bunch of people that never had a TV show, and it's because we want to try and kind of fill that gap because we think that the work they're doing and the effort that they're putting into their own stuff already is it'll do well for Beacon's brand because of that, right? And I mean, listen, I don't know what went wrong out there as far as network TV is concerned, but and I wish I could give everybody an answer to that, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's a underappreciation for the people, the viewers, the people in this chat that are, having a good time today.
Yeah.
And we, are there things in the background that have to be decided on? Absolutely. But we do try to take it with prioritizing the viewers first on stuff. And that's what we want to continue to do. And we're super serious about that. We don't, we have that conversation with a lot of people, and we're going to continue to be that way, so.
And I love that heart because I know with my shows, I don't want it to be any political or I just want people to come home from a crappy ass day where they're they've been down in the dumps and where people could come join, and have a laugh.
Yeah, dude. Kudos to you on that, honestly, man, because there's really not the older I get, the more I appreciate that, like, most of that stuff is just so unimportant, man. It just
Yeah.
really is. And
It's just too much drama out there to deal
yeah,
with it. Like, I just want to make people laugh, you know.
me
I want
too.
people to
And
feel good and just have fun, you know, because that's what it's about. And it's about coming together and being there for each other. And there's just too
absolutely,
much negativity out there.
dude,
It's
it's unreal. It is
bull-
unreal. To me, it it's this realization that, like, most of us are not waking up trying to, like, screw somebody else's day. Like, that's
yeah.
just not in me. That's not who I am as a person, not who I'll ever be as a person.
Yeah.
People get hurt by accident all the time. You do, I do, everybody does.
Yeah.
But we all have to remember that most of the time it's just words, first off.
Mhm.
Like, none of us are out there, like, really trying to be the next supervillain. You know what I mean?
Oh.
That's just not it. So, like, why we shouldn't take that stuff that serious.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
No.
And yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, dude. I want to see people smile, and it's the reason that I even go and do conventions and events, right? I do them because people want to come see me, and I'm happy to meet those people, and I'm happy to enjoy the time that I have at those places, no matter where I'm going. So
Yeah. That's awesome.
the
man.
D word.
The D. What's the D word?
What's the D word, bro? Demon? Is that what you're talking about? Did I say demonize? I don't remember. I
That's
just run in my mouth.
Bagans would say it's a demon.
It's a demon. We say that probably 30 times a location.
It's just funny. It's like
It is, but at the same time, it's like, I don't discredit the demon thing. I'm sure that there's a situation for that, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's everybody knows that everybody tries to play into it. It's a
yeah, we're actually going to be having an episode of that here on my podcast show pretty soon about demonic things, and because I've had my own experience with it
right.
personally when I was younger.
It's tough, dude.
It
It's
is.
tough because it's been over embellished, right? But
Yeah.
then, oh, drama. Well, it's the same word, Mike.
I would thought he was think of a different word.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop being a dick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well,
That's what I was saying. Hey, that's just my mind. That's where it went.
it is what it is, right? Can't stop that train now.
No, wait. There's a button for that.
Wow, wow, wow.
If I can find
The
it.
trumpet.
Nope. Oh, damn it. Didn't go on. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wrap up the demon stuff, but it's harder now because when it's being so embellished, like, you have to remind yourself that there are real situations for that thing, for that kind of phenomenon, or at least people think that it's real. So
yeah,
you can't discredit it too much.
No, that's why, like I said, if you guys are listening out there, I will be having an episode about that, talking about
That's awesome.
my own experiences with it. But yeah, last thing I gotta say about that, yeah, it is personally, to me, I know it's real because of the experiences I've had.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, because I've seen some crap that went down, like, on paranormal investigations, and that's totally not demonic. It's just
right. Of course. Right.
Dark energy and demonic are totally two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. But anyways,
no, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Things can be scary without them being that.
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, I've had negative energy in my house before, where I've had pictures thrown off my wall because my house is haunted. I live in a haunted house, and I have so many things. And sometimes it was negative energy. So a lot of times it's mostly good. Like, nobody's gotten hurt or scratched or anything like that. Sometimes you get a spirit that's pissed off, or sometimes you have one that's in a good mood. You never know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and the people that the spirits that cause those immense activities like that, we call them poltergeists and activity and stuff. We truly don't know if they're doing it to be evil, if they're doing it to be because they're frustrated, or maybe that, we don't know what that looks like on the other side. Maybe they're trying to communicate and they can't get their words across, and it ends up being a picture thrown off the wall because of it,
trying to get your attention or something like that.
Right.
Or that could have been just them when they were alive.
That's true too. That is true too.
Mentality where they were like always pissed off all the time and throwing stuff. And
yeah, I mean, if you were bad in this life, you can be bad in the next.
Yeah, I mean, I know me in that life, I'll probably be a prankster, so I'll be like pranking people.
Yeah. I know, right?
I got people's keys. I'd be moving people's keys somewhere
Dude.
It doesn't belong, like in the refrigerator or something like that. Or the toilet paper, move the toilet paper somewhere.
That's a good way to drive somebody to insanity, I'm sure.
I would love to screw with people. That'd be so fun, man. But the funny part is they're probably blaming their significant other. It's like,
100%, dude.
What did you do with my keys? I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear.
Poor guys over there, like,
I want a divorce.
Why is this happening?
I feel like I want a divorce right now. You move my keys in the refrigerator.
Hey, dude. So I dealt with this private case here locally. It's been a couple of years. It was me and Ricky Hellier.
Shitheads.
And one of the things that had happened to them is that they had like a janitor size set of keys that went missing, and it went missing for like 6 months, bro. And it went missing so long that they had to go rekey everything.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, the keys just appear in the center of the kitchen floor. Like they're just there for after like 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And it's like, how do you explain stuff like that? Like, you can't, man.
Part is someone's gonna blame somebody. They're like,
right.
To do this. It was
they probably would have too if it wasn't for all this other like weird activity that had happened. And these people were one of them was a chief or captain in the military, and the other one, yeah. So these people were just regular people,
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, they brought me over there because they had caught something on a Ring camera in their kids' room.
Huh.
And that time it was some kind of like weird light anomaly, but they were staying a light anomaly that happened in the basement in a room that's in a basement. So there's no like outside lights.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the kid that was in that room saw it, and actually this was the first time that kid had ever gotten out of its crib. Got out of its crib that night and ran to its family. So
damn. Man, I always wanted to like wondered if like anybody like while they were going on the toilet and they got scared by a ghost or something like that, like popped out. I wonder if that like happened to any of you people.
Oh, 100%, right? Yeah, in the chat, who was it?
Yeah, that'd be because honestly, would you like shit all over the walls? like guarantees someone like would shit themselves. You ever
run mid shit?
It'll be like what's that? What was Dumb and Dumber where
yeah,
guy,
dude.
What's his name visited the daughter and the father's like, there's shit all over the walls. There's shit all the time. Like, could you imagine, dude? Like just a ghost pop go boom and disappear, and then there's the ghost.
There she is. I had a ghost poopy. How did I know it was gonna be you, Michelle? How did I know?
She'll be on my show pretty soon in January.
Oh, really? Awesome, dude.
January 11th. Yeah, she'll be on. So
I was up at Rock Island, which I've had, several opportunities to hang out with Michelle now, thankfully. She's a great person.
Dude, she's
but I got to see her talk in Rock Island, and it was really good. She did really well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one place I gotta go visit, Rock Island.
Yeah. When you shit and you shit and
you wipe your ass and it's on the toilet paper.
It's like comes out like a phantom. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Oh, what's that one? Larry the Cable Guy, where he's You ever took a number 2 when you poop and then you use the toilet paper and you gotta use the poop again and toilet paper on top toilet paper and you're like, oop, I just made a poop lasagna.
Oh my God.
I heard that, I was dying laughing. I love
That's
it.
funny. That is funny.
But yeah, oh man, it's already like 10 minutes till, but
Dang, dude.
We're having so much fun here on the Animal
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Like this is awesome, man. But before we do go in here in the next 10 minutes, one thing I want to ask you about the technology you guys use for film. Like what kind of favorite camera do you use? Because I love cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
I just bought actually a toy for myself.
Uh-oh, what do you got?
It's I don't know if you heard of Small Rigs.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of small rig stuff. Yeah,
but it's a brand new one that just came out.
Oh,
I got it for a birthday present. It's for your iPhone actually, but it's badass. Like has all this amazing attachment, big handles.
Oh, is it a rig, a cage for your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these huge handles that attach to. You can attach like 100 freaking things on this thing, like a light, a freaking like wireless, light, all that shit. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna use this for like a lot of filming and stuff like that. It's pretty cool shit.
Yeah, so my go-tos are large, like so for the cinema cameras and even our night vision camcorders, it's all Canon. Right now I'm running our 2 main cameras. I have a Canon C500 Mark II, which is like, if you would have told my past self 10 years ago, 12 years ago that I would own one of those, that I've been like, you're insane. But like here I am, and I'm happy for it, and I love that camera, dude. It has the best picture on it. And then I have another smaller camera that we use. It's a Canon R5C.
Yeah.
It is similar to like DSLR in size, but it has a 8K sensor in it. That is,
oh wow,
dude. The way it visually looks, you're just like, there's no reason that this should look this good. This little camera should not be able to produce this kind of image. So I really love that. I like you, dude. I love filming with the drone. I've been flying drones since before the FAA even cared about them. So yeah, I love that too. I think, you know, you can't overdo stuff whenever you're doing drone work, you know, but it gives those videos that little extra flair, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use a ton of small rig stuff for rigging. You name it at this point. I mean, you can see a little bit of what I got in the background. Most of it's
see the toys. I love toys.
Most of it's stowed away in the RV too, but I try to keep my camera bodies inside. Yeah, dude. I mean, you would never, like, once we've started filming what we're doing these days, all the little pieces that we are like, man, we need this light. We need this light. You just never know this situation you're going to run across. Is the real issue. So got to be prepared.
It's all about the lighting. One thing that's funny about me, like, you know how many they have, like, remember back in the day, they started with 1080p and all that.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And I still export to 1080p today. Yeah, like it's
actually still good.
Yeah, dude, it is. So the only reason I even upgraded to 4K cameras and like, so my R5C, for instance, like it has an 8K sensor, but I film in 4K, but it uses that 8K sensor and it's something called downsampling to a 4K image, and it basically just shrinks it, and so it looks a lot more defined, a lot sharper in 4K. But then the upside to doing all of that too is if you want to, like, if I want to punch into an interview, I can do that without losing like any kind of picture quality. You know what I mean? So you could create, if you're good in post-production, you can create a lot of different like digital sliding sequences. You could create a lot of different angles out of a single camera angle and nobody would know. So it helps a little bit on the back end and helps you be able to create things without losing like any real quality of the image. So yeah, but for a long time, I really got into the cinema camera business with the Canon C100, and that camera still today is one of the better cameras. It films in 1080p, so like that is what it is. But I resisted the 4K movement for a long time because there were things about that camera that were just better.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I moved into 4K, it wasn't even because I was going to be exporting 4K files. I don't think anybody really watches it on their TVs
No.
that often. You know what I mean?
How many Ks do we need? Like, are we gonna
dude, it goes up, dude. You could get cinema cameras now, they have like 12K sensors on them, which is insane.
All I could see is them going up to like 20K, and you're like watching your TV 20K, right? And then you're sitting there, and all of a sudden the person comes out of the TV and punches you, and you can feel it, and you fly backwards. How crazy would that be?
I don't even know. Like,
it'd be like 3D, but without the goggles, or 4D.
The issue is that like your eyes your eyes tend to just normalize it after a while anyway, right? So then it loses its effect anyway. I don't.
Your eyes can only take so much,
right? I mean, your brain can only care about that so much. I care more about like coloring and dynamic range and does my camera hold up well in like low light situations and stuff like that. That stuff is always like I prioritize that above image resolution all the time. I need a camera that I can operate in multiple environments without worrying about, do I need this giant ass light next to me? If I don't have to have that extra piece of equipment next to me or set that extra piece up, perfect. It saves so much time, right? And yeah, it's 4K came out, people went nuts over that stuff for a while.
It's so weird technology. Before we get to go, but when I was at the store, I saw now they have smart glasses.
I saw that, dude.
Could you imagine wearing smart glasses and all of a sudden you could watch TV on them while you're driving? Could you imagine that, man? All the accidents that would happen. they're like, officer would be like, "Hey, you were driving recklessly." I'm like, "Yeah, I was in the middle of the X-Files episode, so season 2."
Dude, it's funny that you say that, and I'll give some people a little background into what I am currently working on outside of like this life. My other life at work, I do what's called tech insertion. And I'm where basically I take existing processes and use modern technology to make them faster, better, whatever, safer. One of the things I'm working on right now involves a robot being moved using VR or augmented reality. So somebody puts a headset on and has the joysticks, and they can move this robot to do a job. This particular one is being used to do a sanding application for paint. Wow. And basically you don't even have to be in the room with it. You just put on this headset, sit in a chair, and go to work, man. It's crazy. Man. It is wild.
Wow. You ever see that? You ever watch The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, dude.
You ever, what was it, Wolowitz? He was using that hand, and he got stuck, and they went to the hospital, and the lady's like, somebody can help us get the hand stuck on their thing,
I mean, it's I've always said that like humans by nature are so good at building things that allow us to be able to do things that are just unfathomable, dude. It's unreal what we are able to design. It is incredible. And now, like, dude, could you even just, I use this situation all the time. Could you go back 100 years and hand somebody an iPhone? They would lose their freaking mind.
Oh, dude, they wouldn't.
Could you imagine? And that's 100 years. That's nothing. Like,
they wouldn't know what to freaking do.
But it wasn't on my bingo card that we were going to have a literal computer in our back pocket. So, and now we all get pissed off because we're losing service. I can't Google this.
Like, I can't find my favorite episode.
Yeah. Why is the service dropping? It's like, man, it wasn't that long ago, or this was not a thing.
That's awesome, bro. Well, before we go, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can, you can check me out at my own handles. It's at Borna Josh, or you can check me out at Searchers Believe, or streambeacontv.com. Check us out.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Such a party, man. I had
Yeah.
such a blast, and that's what I love about this show. We just get to have fun and just chill and just talk about not. You ever remember Seinfeld? It's a show about nothing.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
yeah,
that.
dude.
We just have fun and laughs, and a show about whatever.
Yeah, goes quick when you're having fun, right?
Oh, dude, that's what I love about these shows, because like it's funny because like every time I go into these shows, I never know what I'm going to talk about.
Right.
And once I go in, it just flows like nothing. We just have a blast, and
that's it, dude. That's it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's already over. It's already what time is it? Oh wow, it's a little over an hour.
9:02.
Well, we're gonna hit the show out, and thank you so much, Josh. We're gonna talk in the green room for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for listening to the Animal Expedition Files. It's been such a great night. But this Wednesday I will not be live because it's Christmas. So I hope everybody has a good holidays and a Merry Christmas, and hope everybody has a lot of fun and gets what they hope they get, and don't get scared by ghosts on the toilet. And shit yourself.
The phantom poop.
The phantom poop. So I hope everybody has a good day and a good holiday. I won't see you this Wednesday, but I will see you the following Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, only on the Animal Podcast Show. See you later, and Merry Christmas, folks.
Lights on.